Here we go, guys. World Cup final. Argentina versus France. The game that can make Lionel Messi immortal. We can stop talking about you know what. It's so exciting. And it's the biggest game in football. What a game it's going to be. And I think this is a fitting final. I personally feel like, in terms of the fairy tale ending that could occur here for Lionel Messi, I think if and it sounds disrespectful, but if Argentina play Morocco here, there is some sort of grey matter over the whole thing. But Argentina go into this game, and am I right in saying this, Nabeid? Argentina are the underdogs here.
Yeah, 100%. You have France who come into this tournament as World Cup holders, and also throughout this tournament, if you look at player for player, France do have a better team than Argentina on paper, and so immediately you go, yeah. But that is the beauty of Lionel Messi, and that's been the whole thing this entire tournament. When it was all sort of going wrong against Netherlands, you were always still going, yeah, but they got Messi. Against Croatia, yeah, but they got Messi. And it's not only the fact that it's Lionel Messi, he's actually providing solutions in every single game. I'm looking at this game going, France, they've got Messi. So, like, you've got to stop him. On the other end, obviously, you've got Mbappe, which we will talk about. But I think Argentina are massive underdogs in this game. If you think about the tournament that they've had as well, they haven't blown anyone away with an incredible performance. In that essence, you could say France haven't either. But France have, like, sort of beaten England along the way, and they've sort of pushed teams out of the way, and now they've landed here, and it's like...
Yeah. Do you think this is a better France side than the one previously? If you look at the sort of average possession in that tournament back in 2018, and of course this could be the first time that team's done it since 1962 in terms of back-to-back World Cup victories, 38% possession during that tournament, 55% in this tournament. And actually, in the last two games, it feels like the opposition have had the ball quite a lot. Yeah. So how do you feel about this France side? Because there's two ways of looking at it. Part of me feels like possibly they've got these early goals, which have been useful for game state, of course, and then they've had an element of luck in terms of being able to hang in there. I use that incredibly loosely. Or you could suggest that they've been in total control, really, allowing themselves to counter-attack and actually haven't got out of second gear. Which one is it for you?
It's a combination of both, but when I look at this France side, it's more about...
Get off the fence.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Are they really good, or are they running out of luck?
No, they are really good because they're so versatile. There's so many different ways to win games. And we saw it against Morocco. They gave up possession but won the game 2-0. I can't imagine a team like England going to that game conceding like that much possession and then still win that game 2-0 and not conceding the goal. They've warmed up into this tournament, and I think what's been to their benefit is not having to make tough decisions when it comes to personnel because of all the injuries they sustained pre-tournament. Their starting lineup's been pretty settled. You know who's going to start for them. Obviously, there's been a bit of rotation at centre back, but apart from that, it's been the same team. You can pick their 11. And they can just win a multitude of ways, and they've warmed up now the tournaments into the latter stages, and they've got that know-how as well, and the X factor in Kylian Mbappe. They are clear favourites for a reason, but like the Bay touched on, Messi's come up with solutions in every single game, and will it be another game where we see Messi magic for him to cap off his World Cup career? We will hope so as neutrals, but this France team are formidable.
I do feel, though, France are definitely playing in second gear. Yeah. Every time I watch them play, even the England game, if you just think about them 90 minutes where England fans were going, England are on top of it, England actually didn't create a chance, an open play opportunity really that you'd go, yeah, that should have definitely been a goal. I think France are always in control because they've always got the Mbappe, Giroud, Griezmann. They've got players that can light up a game. That's where I look at this game and go, are they going to have to get out of second gear, or are they just going to be able to do it again? You can't win an entire tournament without actually looking like you're making any effort.
I think that would be really sad, wouldn't it, if they did win the World Cup kind of at a canter. And that's the thing is, you know, results. There's a results bias, isn't there, a lot of time? Because actually, that England game, you can, if that initial goal doesn't happen, you could look at it differently and go, but the way the game played was the same. You would go, well, England took about 5-10 minutes to figure it out tactically, and then pushed and pushed France back. But because they have the goal, it looks a little bit different. That's why I think in this game, I mean, the first goal is so important, but also ensuring that it almost gets to half time with a clean sheet for Argentina, I think is very, very important to see a different side of France. When it comes to Lionel Messi, because there's two players that need stopping, right? Mbappe and Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi in that last game, 4 successful dribbles, 2 big chances created, 2 key passes, got himself a goal and assist. They were unable to stop him. And they said, Dalic, the coach, said that we don't need to focus on one player. We need to focus on the whole team. It's about the collective. That backfired. So do you think that France need to have a very clear plan to stop Lionel Messi, or is that futile?
I think what we've seen in this tournament is you can stop Mbappe, because I hate to say it, I'm not saying he's easy to stop, but he has one trick in his locker, which is touch and run. Yeah. And I think teams have tried to stop Messi. I think every team in this tournament has tried to stop Messi, and he on his own can just take over a game. Yeah. That's where I go, try and stop him, but you won't be able to. He's gonna have moments this tournament. We've seen him play against a low block and he found a way through. We've seen him play against Croatia where the game was a little more open. We've seen him be man-marked and he finds ways through. He's got bodyguards around him everywhere doing all his work for him.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that's really difficult to man-mark or stop because he walks around. And you can't just say to your left-back, just stay with him. Then
that's the problem. That is the biggest problem when it comes to Messi and Mbappe. Mbappe, you know where he's going to be. And that's what England did brilliantly, actually, is that they stopped it. They stopped the ball even getting to him. He only had 3 touches in the penalty area. Yeah. Yes, you got Kyle Walker to deal with it one-on-one, and he had his moments, but overall I think he had him quite comfortably. But it was about stopping the passes getting to him. Whereas Messi, he literally just goes and plays defensive midfield for a little bit if he wants to. So you either have to man-mark him, which you just don't see in the modern game, or you've got to find another way around it.
You can't man-mark him because of the positions that he takes up. It's so abnormal to watch him play because he's walking around everywhere and all of a sudden he's in the right position. It's impossible to kind of stop.
You can man-mark him if you want to.
I mean,
you sacrifice somewhere else in your team, though, to man-mark him.
Are they that good otherwise? Do you think that's the one thing that no one's really done properly?
This is the thing for me, right? I go, Rabiot, mate, you basically just shuttle up and down. Go and follow Messi everywhere. We'll play with a 2-man midfield, or possibly Griezmann might be better suited to it because he defends box to box essentially. Yeah. Griezmann, go and follow him around all game, and if he doesn't if he gets the ball twice in the game and he beats you once and they score, fine. But if he gets it 5 times and scores 3, we only have ourselves to blame.
Yeah, I just don't think it's possible. I don't think it's feasible in terms of the way that France move about, and to sacrifice Rabiot, and I know it doesn't necessarily give France that much going forward, but to sacrifice a man mark Lionel Messi who takes up such abnormal positions, I think leaves you short in other areas.
But is that much of a problem? Because when the only way Argentina practically score is if it goes to Messi, as we've seen this tournament. So if he's not going to get the ball, who are you going to give it to? And then
and more, just as importantly, who do Argentina want to give it to? Because sometimes people. If I'm playing for Argentina, if I get the ball, I look up. I'm looking for one person.
Well, that's exactly it. And
that could mess with their minds.
It's tailored to Messi, so it's going to be very, very hard to kind of try and stamp him out the game because everything that they do is tailored to finding Lionel Messi. They look for him whenever they got the ball. You see their head on the swivel. Where's Messi? Where's Messi? Normally lurking on the outside of the box. It's so hard to stop, man. And if you concentrate on it too much, you get caught in the blender, and that's what happened to Vardiol in the last game. And you can easily see that happening to Rabiot.
It feels too simple.
It does.
You'd think someone would have thought of this by now. Get someone to follow him around.
But that's the thing as well, and that's the difference, and that's why I don't think the football gods will give us Argentina winning this World Cup, because you look at Mbappe and I compare it to R9 at 98 World Cup. Well, I know they lost in the final, but he was at his physical prime, and you can try and stop Mbappe, but for example, in the England game, he looked at Kyle Walker, sized him up, and it was only one time he got past him and done him for pace. He can do that, and he can do that at will. He can do that to Jules Koundé not Jules Koundé. He can do that to the right back for Argentina at will. So he's almost impossible to stop. Whereas Messi, if a lot of his goals come from the penalty spot this tournament, a lot of his pieces of play is like in isolated moments of the game. So I don't know. You can't stop Messi. You can't put a man on him, but you can't stop Mbappe either.
The thing is, I think if you stop Mbappe, like England did to some extent, you have to commit 2 or 3 players in that area. And if you do that, if Ousmane Dembele in that game, as I touched on earlier, is more alert at the back post, he has 2 goals, 2 sitters. Yeah. And if not, it's Giroud. And if not, it's Griezmann. So you kind of go... Whereas for Messi, it's like... If it's not Messi, it might be Julian Alvarez, but he isn't the sort of player that's going to pick the ball up on the edge of the box. And I mean, he did it in that one game, but he's not going to do that over and over again. He's a penalty box striker. Yeah, he's Sergio Aguero, essentially. So then... Is Enzo going to do it? Is Rodrigo de Paul going to do it?
I think that's another key battle. Enzo Fernandez against Griezmann. And I think what we've been chatting about really is the fact that, okay, if you stop one of these 2 guys, what about the other guys? I think when it comes to the other guys, the one person that we haven't spoken enough about is Griezmann. He's been absolutely unbelievable in this tournament.
But it's just the way he's going about it. Completely different to a 2018 when he was France's top scorer.
Completely different.
He's just... We talk about Messi being in creative mode. Griezmann is...
He's created more.
Yeah.
He's created more.
Yeah.
So when it comes to predictions, that's where I find my head taking over, because I think, yes, there could be that magic from either of them. But I think if you cancel each other out a little bit, I still think Griezmann tears it up for them, and I think they'll just have a little bit too much, and I think he'll get his heart broken. The final score, sorry, that hurt, didn't it? Did that hurt everyone? Did that hurt everyone? So for me, final prediction is France winning it, and I think it could be. I think it could be Griezmann's time. I really do. I think it might be like a 2-0, like 1-0, a bit like the Morocco game. Go 1-0 up, and then in the second half, they're going for it, Argentina, and Griezmann finishes it off. I think it will be France's again. What do you think?
I don't disagree with you. I think France's game management is just what's got them to this level. And like I said, they haven't really got out of second gear. They know how to go about beating different opponents, and Deschamps has gone about it systematically. I think it's going to extra time, though, and I think France win in extra time 2-1.
Argentina have to score first. Score first, and you give yourself such a good chance of winning, because then
That's such a great point.
You have to commit France. If France score first, it's a long day.
Well, they've scored first in every single game this tournament.
Yeah, so you go, listen, you've done it so far, you've got to do it in this one. This is the most important one, because then France will have to commit. And if France have to commit, that changes the landscape.
And I tell you what, get that first goal in that stadium. It's a huge stadium, and it is going to be full to the rafters with Argentina fans who will not shut up. It's going to be absolute chaos.
Extra time, Argentina, 2-1.
There we go. Let's see. Absolutely unmissable game. Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.